What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a side mission, if you will, a side quest of the Rap Cave podcast. I'm Chris Platte. You know Amer, my boy. We're here doing these little offshoots here, and credit. I don't know which one of us came up with it, but the head-to-head stuff was an idea I had, but I don't know how we got here on these two albums right here, as you see, Damn versus Graduation. So we're going to look at it by the numbers, and then we're also just going to, at the end of the day, give our opinions on which album we think is the best. This is really interesting because, like, when you look at it on the surface, it's like what made me want to do Kendrick versus Kanye was these are, in my opinion, the two best album makers in hip-hop.
Facts.
And so I think pitting them against each other is always a good conversation. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, like, if you just look at Graduation versus Damn, you kind of start Kendrick with Good Kid, Mad City, like once he got like the label support. Mm-hmm. Graduation and Damn are both the third album. Yep. They're both the third installment. And I think if you look at them too, they're both they've been regarded as the same viewpoint. Like Kanye's always said, Graduation's about what? It's about arena music. It's about stadium music. Like he wanted it to be like the big one, the momentous album. And Kendrick with Damn, that was like his thing. Like Punch kept saying, Punch from TD would describe it as like Good Kid was a classic, Tippin' Butterfly was a masterpiece, Damn was the blockbuster. Like, the super duper commercially successful. So we put out a graphic with the two that kind of broke it down in terms of numbers here. And I'll go over that just to start. I mean, you look at the numbers and these are staggering. You got first week sales. You got Kendrick with 603,000 with Damn, his highest release ever by far for a first week sales, and was the highest that year, one of the highest in the last decade. But then Graduation, again, the moment, like, because not only is this Graduation, right, but this is first 50 Cent, like Loser Retires. Remember, there was that whole marketing scheme, probably one of the best marketing campaigns in rap history. 957,000 first week.
And I was just going to point out the fact that this was a long time ago and it still sold that much in the first week is insane. I mean, you did almost 1 million sales in the first week.
Well, I feel like though back then it was, I don't want to say easier, but it was more common for big numbers. Like you had Kanye that would do like close to 1 million. Mm-hmm. Nowadays it's just Taylor Swift. Yeah, like really, like it's like even Drake has like at his best was like what 6 like upper sixes, which is like above Damn, like slightly above Damn. Like I don't think rappers have really cracked like 750 in a long time, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So the streams, Graduation 5.4 billion, Damn with 7.6 billion. Damn got 5 Grammys. Graduation got 4. Their tours, their gross money from their tour, and they both did about, I think Kendrick did 64, Kanye did 61 shows. Mm-hmm. Their gross was, for Damn, it was 77 million, and for Graduation, it was 30.8 million. Now, even if you adjust inflation, because I went nerdy with that. I like looked at the inflation stuff too. It would still end up being in Kendrick's favor, but just two majorly successful grossing tours.
Oh, for sure.
And then the Metacritic score, which is like the aggregate of all critical review scores for Damn, is a 95, and Graduation is a 79. So,
which is crazy.
Coming into this, like, I made the case for both. So I think we're gonna disagree.
I think we're gonna disagree. But it's okay. That's what makes it interesting.
I think I know where you're going. So,
yeah.
Which was your pick?
Graduation.
Yeah.
Graduation.
And I had Damn. Pick. So, okay. So let's hear the case, because when I was doing this, I had a case for Graduation too. Mm-hmm. Like you can make the case for both.
Yeah,
but
no, absolutely.
I resided with Damn. So I want to hear the case for Graduation. And if you have more, if my case points don't make it, I'll add on to it.
I'm not gonna lie, it was close. It was very close. It actually took me. I'm like sitting there and I'm like, all right, which one would I rather listen to? Which one would it be my favorite? Mm-hmm. And I went with Graduation just because, okay, I listened to this when I was younger. This was my album growing up. right next to Get Rich or Die Trying and Eminem Show. Those are the top 3 in rotation for me. That was the main reason. Second reason is I just like more of the songs on Graduation. Yes, you do have a couple throwaways that really doesn't, like Drunken Hot Girls. I could really care less about that song. Not my favorite, but you got songs like Champion, Stronger, I Wonder. I mean, that's really the like 3-track, in my opinion, for an album, like the best 3-track. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, Run. Yeah.
I mean, come on, those songs are just perfect in my opinion. But no, Kendrick definitely. I mean, he had a good 4-track run on this album.
I mean, these both had great runs, but that was where I'll even extend it further. Like that, just the first 7 tracks before Drunken Hot Girls on Graduation, is probably beating almost every 7-track run like ever. Like that is top tier.
Definitely.
So that's where like, and also another thing I wanted to point out. Did you have more to add to it? Or?
Let me just see the stats real quick again.
Okay, yeah. Going back to the stats here. I mean, the streams were pretty close, considering Graduation is an album that wasn't born in the streaming era.
The Grammys kind of threw me off guard. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, these are both Grammy darlings, Kendrick and Kanye.
Yeah.
So like, were you expecting more Grammys?
I thought Graduation was gonna have more, but then when you pull up 5 for Damn, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Kendrick would have more Grammys for that album.
And these both got robbed of Album of the Year, by the way. Both of them.
Which is insane.
Both of them should have.
Who did? I know who Kendrick got robbed by, but who did Kanye?
Damn, who was it 2008? Let me look that up, actually, while you're talking. But one quick point I wanted to add to it before I forget, because I have my notes on here, but they're on my phone. So I'm trying to remember what I was saying and the case I was making for both sides. I mean, Diamond, Stronger, like, Stronger's a diamond record.
It is.
And so, like, factually speaking.
Yeah.
And Humble is a massive, massive hit. I don't quite think it's ever going to be Stronger. Like, I don't think it's going to be that tier of hit. So, like, even when you look at it that way, like, Kanye's, like, hits were higher, I think, on this album. Even, like, the closing tracks are both, like, storytelling closing tracks. And, like, it's kind of crazy. I would have thought that Duckworth being one of the best closers, I would have thought that would have won by a landslide. But, like, no. You have Good Morning, which is a better intro than Blood/DNA, even though I love that setup. And then you have, like, the closing track is Big Brother is just as good, if not maybe even better than Duckworth. So, like, it's got a lot of cases. And when you look at the daily streams, too, because I broke it down every which way. Like, Stronger gets the most per day streams, I think. I think it's slightly edged Humble, yes. But Graduation as a whole, and again, as a non-streaming album era, like, this is 2008. Spotify launched in 2009.
That's another thing I was going to say. The streams is insane for,
like, this has streamed very well
at the time. Yeah. So, like, honest to God.
3.4 million per day as of now for Graduation. Damn is at 4.
I feel like if this album came out during the streaming time, it would have been hella more streams. I mean, insanely more numbers. But
and not to mention, even the other thing with Stronger too is, like, think about, like, that, like, electronic sound and what that, like, now obviously there was Daft Punk and everybody that was pushing that sound before Kanye, but, like, that just changed the next, like, 4 years of music, like 5 years. I
was gonna say, I feel like he's the first rapper to actually kind of sample something like that, and turn it into one of the biggest songs ever.
Definitely. So, I mean, look, Graduation has a phenomenal case in my opinion.
It does.
It really does. And I think the Metacritic score of only 79 is crazy to me, because, like, even Drunken Hot Girls, which everybody shits on, is not terrible to me. It's really not. Which is crazy that, like,
I'm a Kanye fan. I don't really like that song, but
I mean,
but the rest of the album is good.
I'm not going to it, but when it comes on, like, it's actually past. Like, that used to get shitted on, like, as like Drake's Ratchet Happy Birthday on Scorpion. Like, that used to be like, that song is terrible.
It's but not now that great.
Now I think it's not terrible. So it's like okay, you throw all those bangers in there. Can't Tell Me Nothing, Stronger, Good Morning Champion, I Wonder,
That's the thing.
Flashing
It's like
Lights.
you could have done without that song, and this album would have been a perfect 10 out of 10. But just because you put that in there, I'm gonna have to give that a 9.5.
Yeah,
Just because of that song alone.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So I feel
still
you.
a good album though. I mean, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So that's like the only song I really skipped though.
yeah. Yeah, I feel it. I that's one that like you have to be in the mood. You have to
Yeah.
just be like letting it rock,
Yeah.
like background music. But yeah, so if anybody wants to argue Graduation, I hear you. The reason I went with Damn was because I feel like when I broke it down kind of categorically, like I'll start with the rapping is clearly better on Damn, like like clear by
No,
far and
that's
away.
I'll give you that for sure.
I think if you want to do like if you want to do a Kendrick or Kanye rapping album versus Kendrick rapping album, you go to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then I think you're like, okay, then there's real conversations. But Kendrick much better rapping on this.
Mm-hmm.
I think his best from a technical standpoint rapping performance on any album he's ever made.
It's probably my favorite Kendrick album, to be honest. Right next to, obviously, To Pimp a Butterfly. To me, it actually beats Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah,
Even though that album was amazing. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm like. It's like that's a crazy 3 album run.
yeah, it is,
But
honestly.
so I gave it to that because I feel like also production wise, as great and as revolutionary as Graduation is, I think they're definitely on the same quality. Like Damn's like production is insane.
Yeah.
Those beats are just one of one. Like
They're really
they're
good.
all just a masterclass of production.
Really good beats, for sure.
So I think that puts it in the conversation, and that's usually where Kanye wins a lot is production, and so I feel like Kendrick being on the same tier with this album versus Kanye gives him an advantage, and two, like it's a concept album, and like if you're gonna go the conceptual route, like it's got to be entertaining, it's got to be thought provoking, it's got to work, and to this day, I still don't know what the fuck the lady is. Like at the beginning, like people, I've read theories. She's death. She's like this. She's nobody. This isn't real. Like there's no clear answer.
Has Kendrick himself not talked about
Yeah.
it?
Well, he said, "I'm not gonna tell you the answer because I want you to live with it and interpret it how you interpret it." Like he's left it that way.
See, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's like, just tell us what
Yeah.
it is.
Just give me an
Like,
answer. I feel you, but personally, like. Again, like so I think you executed the concept perfectly, and I think a conceptual album is just on a fundamental level harder than making just great music, and I don't want to diminish like making great music is not easy by any means.
Fuck no.
But I do think when you add the concept to it, plus it being great, the sequencing is perfect. I think that, obviously it speaks for itself, the fact that the writing, the fact that he got a Pulitzer for this album.
Yeah.
Like, when you put all those things together, I think the concept part of it gives you a better degree of difficulty, and he didn't sacrifice listenability. This is probably his most listenable album.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Either this or Good Kid.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
So to have the concept and to have the themes and so much emphasis on lyricism, but then to also be able to not sacrifice listenability, I think is what puts it over the top for me personally. And and I get it, you're not always trying to listen to a concept, but when you listen to that album and you get the story and you get the feel, and you just don't know after every record what's coming next if you're listening to it for the first time, it's just it is an experience. It is truly an experience. So
Yeah.
I would say
They're
I would
just two
give the Slight
amazing
Edge to
albums
Damn.
for sure.
Yeah.
They're just both amazing albums. I mean, you can't really take away one from the other. I mean, it's a good for that being a junior album.
Yeah, it would be it was their third album for both of them.
So for that being
From their label debut.
I think these are, with the exception of To Pimp a Butterfly, that one is just a different category I put it in.
Yeah.
But I'm saying without To Pimp a Butterfly, these are like perfect Junior albums.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like the first album is good from an artist, but when you get to like that second, third album, it's like, all right, like they're really showing their talent.
Yeah.
And these albums
Or
are
they're
really,
failing. Like
or they're
right,
failing.
like it's like
or they're failing.
Yeah. Anybody can have a good debut, but it's
Yeah.
like what you do after that. It's like by your third album, you're like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
So
no, both good albums. Like I said, it was close for me. Damn is fucking amazing.
yeah.
But Graduation is just, it's great. It's,
I mean, I hear you because, like, you know, you compare, like, the lowlights for me, like, and I don't dislike these records, but
Yeah.
records like Yeah and God that I don't listen to as much,
Yeah.
and you compare them to the lowlights of, you know, Drunken Hot Girls and whatever off of Graduation.
yeah.
Like, those are all, like, still good records. So
Yeah.
these albums are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I was
We
thinking
can't be
about
too
that
hard on
part
them.
of it.
They're you're gonna have a bad song every now and then. So, but no, these are definitely solid projects in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They're both classics. They're both like
Absolutely.
essential hip hop albums. If I'm putting somebody onto hip hop and they're telling me
definitely.
like why is hip hop great, I'm showing you these albums which weirdly had the same goal but went about them different ways, and both of them work. So I think these are two Titan albums. So I'm excited. I think we may want to try to do one or two more Kendrick versus Kanye. I've been thinking about that just for these head-to-heads. And we're going to do more with these. We're going to do artists. We're going to do songs. We're going to do albums like we did here.
We should do debut next. So College Dropout versus
Good Kid.
Good Kid.
I think that's a good matchup. And
That's
then
a really good matchup.
I think if you're like trying to match them up, like I think both like they're like what they wanted to be their masterpieces, Tip and Butterfly and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
So like that's where my brain's going with it. But we who knows? We may compare Kanye to another artist or Kendrick to another artist. But we're going to be doing a lot of these things, kind of just breaking down head-to-head matchups and putting out some numbers behind it, but then also having these videos for context and just kind of leaving our opinions. So let us know in the comments below what you think is a better album. Would you take Damn or would you take Graduation? Let us know in the comments. We appreciate you for checking out this episode. And stay tuned to Rap Cave Podcast. New episodes every week, plus these side videos. We're doing a lot of content for you. So
also, check out the graphic on Instagram that we made.
Yes, shout out to Chris Adams for this one. He cooked with this one. This one's fire. I can't wait to do more. The graphic is so good, it makes me want to do
Chris
more of these.
Adams made it?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Chris,
dude.
Man.
I'm telling you,
that.
this is so good that I want to just like do a million more of these
just because it looks so fucking dope.
Yeah, just so I could do this. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in to this Rap Cave little side mission, side quest, if you will. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.